Hello. I see you guys logging in. Hello, hello. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Deborah. Good to see you guys. Hello. Nancy. Hello, hello. Hi, Ruth. Great to see you. Hi, Linda. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Who else is on? Say hi to me in the comments. Hi, Ruby. Sometimes the comments don't load, so it's helpful when you guys say something so I can see if it's like lagging or if it's coming through. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Terry. Hello, hello. Hi, Diana. Hi, everyone. Oh, welcome. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. How are you guys doing? How was your week? Or this last week? Hi, Marianne! Exclamations! Great to see you! I love that. You guys, how's it going? Thank you, Amy. I'm excited to show you how to make it. It's so fun. How are you guys doing? My week is going well so far. So I was on spring break last week, and now I've started a new block, which is immunology, hematology, and lymphatic system. So this is my last block. So a lot of you guys know this from last week. It's my last block. I'm so excited, and man, has it been a journey. It has been rough at times, but God is good and I'm getting through. I've got this one more block to do, and it is going to be kind of a crazy block because it's really only one more month. And so we've got to shove in all my finals too. So I have like consecutive blocks like going on at the same time. So some blocks, so we have like main blocks, right? Hi, Diane. We have main blocks. So we have like endocrine, then we have GI, cardio, like all these blocks. So this is the last one, IHL. And, but during that time, I also have OMM. I have a block called Mission Medicine. I have another block for like clinical skills, stuff like that, that run consecutively. So I have like finals for those two. So it's going to be a little bit crazy. It's a lot, but I'm really excited. When are you done for this year? So for this year, I'm done. My last day of classes, like technical classes, is April 19th, I believe. So I have like one more month, and then all of my finals will be done by then. And then after that, so this will be my last like didactic block. And then I have to pass boards, which is like a whole nother beast. So I'm taking boards in June. And then after that, hi, Carolyn. Hi, Carol. Hi, Lori. After that, then I go into my official clinical rotations. So I'll be basically working every day in the clinic, and then I'll do rotations. So like 1 month I'll have family medicine, then the next month I'll do psychiatry, and then the next month I'll do surgery or internal medicine or what have you. So I don't know what that schedule is going to look like. It's going to be kind of crazy. But I'm really excited to like actually get in and like do stuff, you know? Nancy, I'll be staying here in New Mexico. Whoop, whoop. So, my third year, it's kind of complicated. So my third year, I have 2 elective rotations that I can do like basically anywhere. But for the majority of them, I'll be doing it here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, which I'm super excited. I had to go into like this whole lottery and everything because there are like 7 different areas around like New Mexico, Arizona, and Florida where you can do your rotations, but I really wanted to stay here. So I got that. So I'm super excited. That was a big blessing. So I don't have to move. And then 4th year is going to be mostly, elective rotations. So whatever it is, specialty that I want to go into, that's what I'm going to be doing mostly 4th year. So Amy, right now I'm super interested in psychiatry, but we'll see. Who knows? Like, you know, it's changed every, you know, few months really. I've been on the psychiatry kick for a while, so we'll just see how that goes. I still have to pass boards. I still have to, you know, get into the clinics and stuff and see if I really like it. Who knows? I might get in there and be like, man, it's not for me. You know, and then I'll go into something else. But yeah, I agree. We need family practice for sure. Actually, tons of my classmates are going into family medicine. Super, super excited for them. And who knows, I might be amongst them. I'm really interested in family medicine as well. And internal medicine too. I really, really like adult medicine. I'm really kind of torn. There's a lot of things that really interest me, so we'll see. And but those rotations, so 3rd year technically, Ruth Ann, I saw your question. 3rd year technically is gonna start in July. So Ruth Ann, that is a question that apparently even the smartest minds can't solve. I have no idea what's wrong. I have no idea. Yes, Teresa. Yes. Yep. Who knows? I might go into that. I have a few rotations I know that I'm going to get to do adult medicine, so I'm super excited. We'll just see. I don't know. You know, I'm going to go wherever God leads me. So I appreciate your guys' prayers, and I'm praying every day because I want to make sure that I'm in the right spot at the right time, and so that I can serve the patients that I need to be serving. And I'm just so thankful that that's not something I got to worry about right now. I just got to keep my head down, keep working hard, and just get through this last block, my boards, and then all my rotations. So, but yeah, a lot of exciting things coming up. Sorry, my voice is a little I was actually sick on spring break, so I'm getting over it now. But yeah, it's a little bit froggy, I think. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little update. Next week, I probably won't be here, but I'll have a video for you. Marianne, I love you. Thank you so much. I need those prayers. I really, really need those prayers. It is hard. I was just telling my mom the other day, I'm like, I never, would have imagined that it would be this hard. I just wouldn't. I don't know that I would have been able to have the courage to do it had I known just how rigorous and difficult it would be. Physically, mentally, all of that stuff. Oh, my printer. It's like you haven't used me in 5 minutes, so we're gonna need you to, get back on. But yeah, it's really hard, and I'm glad I didn't know. I told her, I'm so glad I didn't know, because, I don't know that I would have done it, to be honest, and I'm so glad I did. So, yeah, some things are best left unknown. You know what I mean? So anyway, I am so excited to be here with you guys. We have a really cute project for you today, this little bunny, and this is really fun because it is Barbara, thank you. Hi, Georgia. Marianne, yes, that's right. Yep, His grace is so sufficient for us. And, if we see the mountains too soon, we freeze, right? So it's really good that like we don't always know, right? Okay, so I have this little card that we are going to make today, and it's really cute because you can basically make this a couple ways. So I originally was just going to do the tulips, and I was like, I'm just going to show you guys how to do the bunny as well. And I did 2 different pots. So I did this pot here, but then I have a pot underneath, and I can take this little bunny out, and I can just have the tulips. Isn't that cute? So you could totally make this however you want to, but I wanted to show you how versatile this set is. This is not just for Easter, and while it looks Easter and it's perfect for Easter, I mean, tulips are like a spring, summer flower, right? And you could just have him in there. If you like the brown pot, just keep the brown pot. But I wanted to show you how cute the blue pot is too. So you can always just, you know, glue this on there if you like the blue pot. But I was like, I'm just gonna give you guys some ideas. Isn't that cute too? So you can have him in a blue pot, in a brown pot, with the bunny, without the bunny. So we're gonna paint these today, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So leave me a comment below if you want the brown pot or the blue pot, because we're just gonna pick one. And so I wanted to show you both, but it's totally up to you guys which one you want to do. So leave me a comment. The most comments of blue or brown is going to be the winner. So go ahead and leave me comments below. I am going to switch this camera around, and I'm going to show you what set I used and all that good stuff, okay? So, Lori, I like the brown pot too. Okay. All right, maybe. Okay, so if you get dizzy, close your eyes, okay? We're gonna go for a little ride, all right? Here we go. Well, maybe. Oh, all right, hang on. Hang on. Oh, all right. There we go. Oh, my. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Close your eyes. Okay, we are switched. Excellent. Okay. So, what do we have? We have lots of blues. We have lots of brown. Barbara, yes, they do. They have dyes. Yes, they do, thankfully. You would not catch me fussy cutting these out for sure. I have a little gray bunny that I was playing with. I thought I'd show you guys that. But here's his little brother, the little brown bunny. But you could do gray, you could do brown, you can do whatever you want. You could do a peep bunny, make it pink or something like that. But here is the card, and then the set that I'm using is 5870 Peking Bunny set, and this is so super cute. Let me take this packaging out because it's really hard to see on with the glare. But these are clear polymer, and they come with all of your dies, so you don't need to worry about fussy cutting anything. But the stamps I'm using are this bunny and these tulips, and I just wanted to show you, you can use this just by itself. It is super cute just alone. I absolutely love that, which is why I wanted to show you this. Sometimes you just need, like, this would be a beautiful sympathy card or thinking of you card or something like that for that friend that absolutely loves gardening or just kind of being out in nature, just loves tulips. I mean, I have friends that specifically just love tulips, like love tulips, all the different colors. So I could easily give this to one of them and they would love it. Okay, so you've got the little chickies in here. You've got your basket of eggs. This says Hello Easter. Once again, like, these are Easter themed, but you don't have to use them just for Easter. Like, any of these could be used. You could mask out these eggs and just use the basket with a bunch of flowers in it. Would be super cute. Same things with the chicks. Mask out the eggs and put a bunch of foliage and flowers in here. How absolutely adorable. Or mask out all the top and have that cute little wagon with all of your foliage and flower. So super cute. So just get creative, okay? Teresa, yes, this is a 2024 release. This was just released not too long ago. So definitely check it out. But I love his little bum. How cute is that? So I wanted to highlight this one because when I saw it come out, I was like, oh my word, the possibilities with this are pretty much endless. You could also take your tulips and put some other little flowers in here. You could put grass at the bottom. You could put a little bunny next to it, one of the watercolor bunnies if you want to. Cute little paintbrush. We've got his bow on here, which I actually just ran through the Easter paper, the colorful Easter paper, which is what I used on my card as well. If you guys haven't seen the Easter paper, again, this is not just for Easter, but very, very summery spring. So stinking adorable. If you don't have these, get your mitts on them. So cute. Absolutely love these papers. And they are front and back. So I don't know if you guys knew this, and I'm sure you have if you have these, but they are front and back. So very versatile. We got to give Joel the glory for these papers because he's so good at them. He comes up with all the paper designs. Of course, the queen bee has to approve, but you know, he's the one that comes up with them. He's that creative paper genius. So anyway, all that being said, let's go ahead and get started, okay? So I am going to grab some watercolor paper. Now, I have some watercolor paper that I've already used here, and I wanted to just highlight that for this project, you can use your watercolor scratch papers. Like, you don't have to get all new papers because you're going to be cutting out, you know, these with the die cut machine. So just use, you know, scratch papers like this. You know, if you have stamp off paper or whatever, you can totally use it. You don't have to use a brand new, although you certainly could, okay? So I'm going to grab my tulips, make sure this is going to fit on here. Let's do, you know what, I'm going to do a new one just for the project, but I did want to show you, just so I'm not confined to that small space. If I were doing this just on my own, I would definitely use that piece of paper, but I just, you know, I'm doing the demo. I want you guys to be able to see it really well without being distracted by that die cut. But for the bunny, we'll definitely do it on this paper, okay? So use up your scratch papers. Don't just toss them because there's plenty of things you can do with them, okay? All right, so I'm gonna take my tulips first, okay? And I'm going to color these with a couple different colors. Actually, what did we decide on the pot? Are we doing blue or are we doing brown? Let's see. Let's see. Blue, blue, brown, 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 blue, 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 blue. Okay, I'm getting a lot of blues here. So let's just do the blues. Okay. Deborah, I did because it took me so long to do them. So I'm like, I can't spend the time to change them. So even if I don't like a set that I do, it takes me like, I don't know, an hour and a half or something to paint them. So I'm like, you know what, if I'm going to take an hour and a half, like I better have it on for a couple weeks, you know? Okay, so I am going to take 565 for the blue pot, okay, 565. I also have out N65, or a light gray color, and that's going to be for the flowers themselves, okay? And I'm going to have 177. So I'm going to use all three of these for this tulip stamp, okay? So let's go ahead and get coloring. And the nice thing is these are pretty much just in sections. So the pot is going to be blue. That's going to be the 565. The greenery, of course, is going to be the 177. And then the tulips themselves are going to be N65 because I'm going to color these in yellow, and I don't want them to get really brown from, you know, 969, and I don't want them to turn green by using the blue. So we're just going to go with this really nice light gray color for that and go from there, okay? So we'll start with our pot. So I'm going to add on this blue for my pot. And I'm going to color all along the stems here. Okay, so all along the stem, get up on the leaves. And then on the tulips themselves, I'm going to take that N65 and I'm going to color the tulips on the N65. Okay, so now I'm going to take my stamp and stamp it down. And I'm not going to stamp off on this. It's okay if it's a little bit darker. I'm not worried about it. So there we go. Okay, so I've got my little tulip stamp. I absolutely love this stamp. Now I'm going to take my number 4 brush. So I pretty much use the number 4 throughout this project. But the number 4 round connoisseur brush is just awesome. It's really, really great. So I've got this number 4 and I'm just going to come along and begin to pull out the color from the lines here. Okay. Not being super careful. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just kind of moving that color around. Especially when you know you can die cut things out. You don't have to be so super worried about, you know, being so on point and careful. Mary, no, this is the only time I've used N65, and it's because I want my flowers to be yellow. And if I used blue, there's a possibility they would turn green, right? And then if I used brown, it would muddy up the yellow. So I just really liked this gray. It gave a nice, you know, outline for the yellow. You'll see that I don't really touch the gray very much, but the darker colors would have been too dark for a yellow flower. So great question, but I don't generally use N65 for flowers. But I just thought, you know, it might actually work pretty well for this one, and it did. So I'm showing you guys. Good question. Please ask questions below in the comments. If I see it, I will answer it. Absolutely love comments or questions, because if you're thinking it, someone else is too. Okay. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. All right. Could you use yellow on the flowers? I thought your mom had done that in the past. You probably could. It's just not, for me, for my taste, it's just not dark enough. I really like a darker, you know, kind of color. So, you know, for the outline, and then I'll color it in yellow, which we'll see. But Marianne says, so while using this stamp, would you ink them in your color of choice, like pink or purple? If you're going to do a darker tulip, if you're going to go like a dark purple, I would do it in purple. I would do it in the 636. And then if you were going to do it in pink, I would probably grab the 725 and then maybe also use like the 743, like these two pinks. But the yellow, I really wanted to do the yellow because yellow is really hard to do without using the yellow outline. It's just not strong enough, Diana. So for me, for my taste, it's just not strong enough to use a yellow outline. But if you can see on my, whoops, I almost dropped in the water. If you can see on my original, you can see that gray line is really pretty light, but it still gives some structure for the yellow flower. And had I done that in brown, I probably would have pulled some brown in. And if it were yellow, it just wouldn't have been strong enough to stand up to these orange elements that I did in here. So I hope that makes sense. It's kind of a personal preference. You could try both and just see how it goes for you. You might really like that. But it's just, that's why I do it. So totally kind of, you know, artist choice or whatever. Okay. Me too. Me too. And, it really kind of depends on what you like. You know, there's a lot of people, there's like there's like lineless watercoloring or something where there's no outline at all, which is very interesting too. So, you know, it's all about preference, what you like to see. Mary, absolutely, glad to answer that. Okay, so I'm going to take 173 now, and I'm just going to drop some of this into the leaves and then let these dry as we move on to other elements. And I just love this limey green color, especially with the yellow tulips, because the lime green has a lot of yellow in it, right? So it's a really nice, kind of connects the flower with the greenery in a nice way. Okay, so I've got some of that in there. Love, love that. I'm gonna let that dry and come back to it. Now I wanna work on the pot. So we picked the blue pot, which is, let me just grab it so I can have a little something to be looking at here. Okay, so I'm gonna take my water and, oh Pat, I'm so glad. That is my job, to be able to help you and answer questions. So please, if I answer something and you guys don't get it, please tell me that you don't get it, because I will find another way to explain, because I want to be helpful for you, okay? Yeah, Diane, me too. I need the lines. I need them. I need that structure in my life, you know, in my watercoloring life and in my normal life. I need the structure desperately. Okay, so I'm going to take my water here. You can see I just kind of loosened up the lines here. I'm going to pull this out just a bit at the bottom. Okay, hi Cherie, great to see you. No problem. I'm glad you're connecting with your mama and sis. That's great. All right, I'm gonna grab 565 again, 565. And I'm gonna just take a little bit of this and place it right underneath where the shadow would be, underneath the lip of this pot. Remember, in the center is going to be highlighted, okay? So this is going to be highlighted in the middle of the pot. So when you have something that's rounded like this, or a cylinder, the area closest to you, which is going to be right here, is going to be highlighted. Okay. And then the outside edges and under the lip are going to be shadowed in. Okay. Now I'm going to take that same color, 565, and I'm going to put just a little design right here. And that's just these two lines, which we do all the time. It's just a really nice way to add a little bit of a touch to your pot. And then I'm going to bust out that same green that we used last week that I just absolutely loved, which was 312. I just thought this was so pretty. So 312. See if I can get it on screen. There we go. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to drop it right into this pot, into the highlighted areas, just lightly, still leaving some white space. Okay, and then I'm going to take Diane's favorite color, 526, which I also love, and I'm going to take 526 and put this into that little area that we drew in, the two lines, okay? And this is going to connect in really well with the sky that we did on the background of the card, and I'll show you. So a little bit here. Okay. And then I just mix in a tiny bit on the rest of the pot, just a little bit, not too much, just to kind of get it to soften up a little bit there. If I lose a line, which I kind of did, I can take that color and put it right back in. Okay, so, and I'll show you on this card. So behind the tulips, I just did a really, and it's gonna be super hard to see on here, but I did a really light wash on the white cardstock of the 526. And that connected with that pot really well. And then of course the Easter paper I used matched really nicely too. So super, super fun. Okay, so now we are going to color our tulips. So we'll get our little tulips in there. I'm gonna take a couple yellows, okay? I'm gonna go 055, which is that super bright yellow. And then 993, which is more of that gold yellow. This one's 993, this one's 055, okay? And I'll show you on my palette. So this one is 055. Look how bright that is. It is really bright yellow. And this one is 993, which has got more of like a gold kind of orangey tone to it. So we're gonna use both of these. I'm gonna take the 055 first. Now, even though I did this in gray, I still don't wanna really touch the outside of these edges too much. I don't wanna pull in a lot of that gray, but I want that gray as an outline for my tulip. Okay, and you will pull in a little bit here and there, and that's fine. Don't overthink it, don't worry about it. And a little bit there. Okay. And onto these flowers, these little petals. Okay, and one more. Now I kind of thought, I ran out of time today when I was putting this card together, but I kind of thought it would be neat to even stamp this again, color more tulips, and then just put them behind where like the little bunny is. You know, you could pop them up from behind. Wouldn't that be cute? And then you would have a bunch of tulips. But yeah, just an idea. I was gonna try it and then I just ran out of time today. But I thought maybe one of you guys could try it if you wanted. Okay. So I've got, Mary, you know what? You are not the only one. The comments have come and gone for other people, and it looks like most of them have come back for everybody. So just be patient. I think it's something to do with Facebook. It's happened to me a couple times too, and they always come back. It's just sometimes they disappear, which is really annoying, but hopefully they will come back. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. 993 now. I'm gonna take this 993 and come down to the bottom. And I'm not gonna go as high as I went with the last color. So I'm just gonna stay mostly down at the base with 993. And I hope you guys can see this on screen. But you can see how hard it is to build up this yellow. It is really tricky to do. So if you, so stamp tulips again and color, then die cut out, then pop up behind the bunny. Yes. So what I would do is I would die cut, I would just color the tulips and probably the stems here. And then I would die cut the tulips out, cut the stems off, and then just add them like behind the bunny. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? And then put the bunny in after. So you would have the bunny popped up and a couple of the little tulips behind, which would be really cute. Okay, so yes, yay. We're on the same page, girl. Okay, still grabbing that 993. And as soon as it dries, you can see in here that you get this really nice kind of shadow. And we're gonna build that down up even more, build that up. 993. I always write the number out and then I use it. So then it defeats the purpose of actually writing it out. So hopefully, okay. Now I'm gonna take a little bit more of that 993 and I'm not gonna dilute it as much. So I'm gonna keep this really low down here at the bottom. And we're gonna try to build up that shadow even a bit more, like so. And then I'll take a little bit and put it into the petals up here. Just like that. Okay, and you can see we are getting some 3D effect. Now I like to, on a yellow like this, I like to take the straight marker. Once I've built up a little bit of a shadow, I like to take the straight marker and just come in at the very bottom and just put a little bit more onto the tulip. Okay, you can see how much darker that is now. And then I love this part. So this is really what I think sets it off, is I'm gonna grab the orange Twintone. If you guys don't have this set, this is such an awesome set. I think you get 12 Twintones or something. Absolutely crazy about these. So I'm gonna grab that orange Twintone and I'm just gonna put right in the middle of these petals, just a little bit of that orange, which is gonna darken up that shadow in there. Look at that. It makes it look so much deeper, doesn't it? I just love that. And then one more over here. Look at that. It just makes your yellows really pop too. So that's the orange Twintone. You could always put just a tiny bit down at the bottom if you wanted a little bit deeper shadow. Gorgeous. Hi, Julie. I am. I love that I'm on tonight too. I love every time I get to see you guys. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Sandy. No worries. Thanks, Carol. Okay, so we're gonna keep going now, and I'm gonna head back to this green. So I could leave the green just like this. Can you use the orange Tombow if you don't have the Twintone? Pat, yes you can. It's just gonna be hard with that bullet tip. So let me just show you. You can if you have a steady hand, okay? I don't have a steady hand, so these Twintones are like the best for me. But if I could just show you the difference in the tip. So Pat's asking about this one, and you can use this one. It's just gonna distribute more color. You can see how tiny and detailed this tip is. It's just a little bit safer to go into small areas with the tiny tip, but if you only have this Twintone or this Tombow, use this. It's gonna be fine. So the answer is yes, but I just wanted to show you the difference here. This is why I like the Twintones, is because they're just teeny itty bitty tips, okay? But yes, you certainly can. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back in to this green, and if I wanted to leave it like this, I totally could. It's still really cute as is, but I know you guys are extra like me and you want to add in more things, so I'm here for you, okay? So I'm gonna take 177 and that's the color that we stamped in, right? So I'm gonna take 177 and I'm going to take a little bit of water, and now we're going to kind of put in some little lines here onto the leaves. See how cute that is? And we're just going to almost put like these little like veins into the leaves and just a little bit more dimension. by adding in some areas that are darker. See that? Diane, yes, you can. Yep. So Diane says you can try just the tip of the brush as well. Yes, great idea. You're not going to get as concentrated by doing that, but that will work, especially if you go straight in from your color. So use like a teeny tiny tip like that. I assume, Diane, that's what you mean. Or like this one is, I think, the angled. Yeah, this is the angled. This is the 0. So this is, look how tiny the angled brush is. I need to use this. I forget who suggested it. Was it you, Barbara? I forget who said, but I'm going to be using this angle brush soon because I know y'all have it. So we'll bust this out pretty soon, okay? All right. Yes, of course, girl. I got you. I got you. There's so many ways of doing things, you guys. So please, please don't think that this is the only way. This meant the brush tip of the pen. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The brush tip of the pen. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, because it's tiny. It's teeny tiny. Yes, you could. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so here's the brush tip that Diane is talking about. See how small the brush tip is? But I'm still gonna prefer the Twintone over that, just because you're not gonna distribute as much ink. But if you don't have a Twintone, then there are many, many other options, including that brush tip. Thank you for suggesting that. Okay. Oh, it was Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Sherry, you said that in the comments, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to bust out that angular brush. So that has been on my mind, girl. Okay. Let's see. Diane says, but the Twintone would be my choice too. I know, they're so great, but you don't always have everything, you know? Like you just got to go with what you have too, especially if you're just trying to make a card. And you're trying to get it out to somebody, you know, these are just ideas. There are so many ways to do things. So this is a great resource for you guys to comment below. Diane's on our design team. She is amazing. So many of you are amazing and on here. So if you're new, comment, because a lot of these people on the comments know a thing or two about the AI watercolor. So even if I miss your comment, one of them will catch it, and I guarantee you they're going to have a good idea for you. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to put in some darker little areas. So see how this green just adds so much to these leaves? I just think it adds a lot. I like to be just a little bit extra and do these little things. But even if you just take a few minutes and add this in, it just makes a big difference. Unless you're somebody who likes more of that abstract look, you know, less details, then you're gonna like it how it was before. But this is really, really fun to kind of add in those little things too. Okay, so I'm gonna take another Twintone, and I'm going to add in just a little bit of the detail that I lost on my pot rim back in. Okay. And that just brought it right back to life as well. Georgia, yes, she is. Diane is amazing. Okay. Yes, Marianne. Yes. You must wait for the layers to dry. You must. Otherwise, the water is just going to equal out everything, and you know, you're going to be left with just a flat color. So that's probably one of the most important things I learned about watercoloring, is you have to let the previous layer dry before you go back in. Okay. Now I want to do my bunny. Okay, so I've got my little tulips done. They're looking pretty darn cute, and I'm going to go in with my bunny. So I'm going to take my little play paper here, okay? And I'm gonna take my bunny stamp. So here's a cute idea for you if you wanted to do gray. I love gray, but I just felt for this project, it was cuter in the brown. But you know, tomorrow I might have a different opinion and want to do gray. So it's really up to you, okay? So $9.69. Marianne, can you heat dry? You can, it's just, these dry so fast anyway, that the best thing you could do is just move on to another part of your project. And then by the time you're done with that area, the previous area will be dry. The problem I've had with heat drying before is that it can sometimes pucker the paper. So, you know, I don't know if that has to do with too much water that I used, or if it was the heat that just, you know, made the paper kind of grab itself. I have no idea, but I had puckering when I did it. If you did it with like a really light airflow, like maybe not a hot airflow, then you'd probably be fine. But it dries really pretty fast because you don't want to use too much water with this. Okay, I got my little bunny. Look how cute he is. Oh my goodness. He's so cute. Okay, I'm just going to zoom right on in. And just a reminder, these are not like traditional watercolor stamps. These are, you know, these are not part of the watercolor line. I am watercoloring them because they're really fun to watercolor. $9.69, Diane. Just the straight up brown. So just as an FYI, I'm going to try to do my best to avoid the face here. So anywhere that there's like a lot of little lines, like the face and stuff like that, like I'm really going to try to avoid, okay? So these are going to be obviously colored just a little bit differently than your traditional watercolors. Okay. Catherine, you are entered, girl. Anyone else who wants to win, let me know, and I will enter you into the drawing. And I'm happy to give both of these samples away, so I'll give 2 away. So leave me a comment if you want to win, and we'll pick 2 winners, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go $9.69 on my palette, which is what I colored this in. Okay, and I'm gonna start off by just pulling out some of the color in these lines. And I don't want to have too much water here, but I'm going to just kind of pull out the brown. Okay, come in here. And we know on the tips of things, those are going to be highlighted, so we're not going to color that in. Okay, can you guys see this? I feel like I'm really zoomed in, but I think you guys like it when I'm zoomed in. So I don't want to be too far out, but I don't want to be like, have my hand in the way. So let me know if I'm in the way, okay? All right. So I'm just kind of, right now I'm just working with the color that's on the paper. So I haven't grabbed any from my palette yet. I will, but I have not yet. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of pull out some of this brown and his little feetsies. His little feets. I love his feets. Okay. So, pull this out. And now I'm going to grab some of this brown on my palette, and I'm going to even out the sides here. Keep in mind that face, any aspect of this face is going to move if you touch it with water, okay? So you just be really, really careful when you're coming in, like his eyebrows, those will move, the eyes, like all of this stuff will move. So you got to be extra careful when you come in to like color these areas, okay? I'm gonna grab just a little bit more here. And just like the container, so even when you're coloring something like him, if you take away the attributes of his face, his paws, he is, I think I'm paused, so I'm just gonna wait a second. I think I'm paused. Okay, I knew I was paused, so I didn't keep going. But if you look at his outline here, okay, if you look at his outline, he actually kind of looks like the shape of that pot, right? He's kind of a cylinder like this, right? So he's a little bit like that, right? So his center, this area right here, is going to be mostly highlighted, especially in his face. Okay, so we want to keep the areas that are darker kind of on the sides, in his little cheeks, and then in the areas that we know will be darker, like under his chin. Okay. Oh, I know, Pat. I know. I realized that after I said it a couple times, I was like, oh my, that sounds like something I wouldn't say. His little feetsies. His feetsies. Oh, goodness. Oh, to be on live. I can't go back and say things again, you know. Okay, so I'm just darkening up just this little area down here, still leaving the tips of his ears quite light. But I'm just building this color, as you can see, just a little bit at a time. I'm not going to overdo it because once it's down, it's really hard to go back, right? So there's his little face. And then I'm going to move down. Keep in mind where my shadows are going to be. It's going to be mostly on the outside, bottoms of the feet, okay, under the hands, or the little paws. Okay. And here. And then, of course, in here is going to be shaded in because this is going to be kind of hidden from the sun, right? Because that's where his little feet are kind of pulled up to his body. And then this little area here that I kind of messed up, got a little bit of that color inside. I can either just kind of blend it out, or I can use my bleed proof white and white it out if I want to. But what I did on this one is I just took a lighter brown. So let's see, what did I use? Number 992, which is just this really nice, like kind of tan brown. And you don't need this. I just liked it for blending. So you don't have to have this again. But I really liked it just to kind of blend out that brown without leaving his paws like just white. And it also adds just a little bit more dimension into his fur. But if you don't have this color, you can still make this really, really cute bunny. This is just for people who, you know, have it or want another layer of color. Totally up to you, okay? Now for his pink, I opted for the lighter of the two pinks, so 743. It's kind of a rosy, like blush pink. 743. It still looks bright, but it's really, really nice on the paper. So I'm going to take just a little bit of that 743 and I'm going to drop it into his toe beans. His toe beans are so cute. Okay, he's going to have pink toe beans. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take his little tongue and his little ears and color those in. Now you can always, of course, there's another Twintone you can use for this. If you feel like this area is just really, really small, you can take your Twintone. And this is a brighter pink, but it's just nice to have it if you want to, okay? If you guys are on the fence about the Twintones, they're awesome. They're really, really great. And I don't use them on lives nearly enough. I love them. Look how cute that is. And they're so good for just adding dimension. Okay. And then we'll add the pink to his cheeks. So I'm going to grab a little bit more here, a little bit more water on here, okay? And we'll add a little bit here and a little bit here onto his cheeks. How adorable. Deborah, and the bottom part of his ears. I didn't color those pink. What did I color those? Let's see. I don't think I colored those pink. I think I did, because I did this on the last one too. I missed that, and I think I colored that brown. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I just darkened it with the brown just a little bit. So I'm going to grab my Twintone, and I think the reason is I didn't do the pink is because it was right at the top of his head. So I'm glad you said something, but I'm just going to darken this up just a little bit like that. Okay. I was torn on that when I first did it because I'm like, I don't know if that should be pink or brown, but I opted for the brown. Okay, now, anytime you have a face, what do we do with the eyes? Who is going to know? Leave a comment. What do we do with the eyes? Because I know there's some newbies here. So anytime you have a face, you're watercoloring a face, what do you do? Yes, Diana. Yes, Deborah. Whoop, whoop. We're going to darken them every time. Every time. Terry, you got it. Yep. Debbie, you got it. You are going to color the eyes. You're going to darken them because it's just going to bring your little guy to life. Look at that. You have living eyes once you darken them. How cute. Okay, and then also his nose. And his little mouth. See how much that brings him to life when you just add that darkness in there. All right. And then if you missed some, or you took out some of the little, paws or whatever, you can put them back in. You can put some little whiskers in. Using my Twintone for the whiskers. So totally up to you how you want to do it. And I think that's it. So with the little bow tie, I actually cut that out of this Easter paper. It was this color, this one or like the one below it, but this is like a darker pink down here. But I colored it or die cut it out of the Easter paper, okay, right here, because it was so small that I just didn't want to color it. I was too nervous to color it, something that small. So I just went ahead and cut that out and put it on a pop-up. So I ran this through, put it on a little pop-up sticky, and then you can put it on him after you die cut him out. So that's him. How absolutely adorable. And then once you get your tulips, so you run these through your die cut machine, and it is going to automatically cut this little slit in there, okay? And then you can take your little bunny, I'll take his bow tie back on. Okay, you can take your little bunny. Okay, and then you can just put him in and slide him on in, just like that. So cute. And we did the blue, pot for today, so I'll just add this in there. But you guys, this set is so versatile. Seriously, there are so many things you can do with this set. And it's super fun. It's super, super fun. So if you're one of those people that are like, I don't want to get this because it's an Easter set, you're going to have so many uses for this. Mask out these guys, mask out the eggs, put foliage and flowers, mask out the eggs, put foliage and flowers, put your bunny in here, you know, add more foliage and flowers to your tulips, do your tulips alone like I showed you. You can just make a card with just the tulips. There's so many things you can do with these. You could put this bow tie on anybody. Like, so adorable. And I can't. Look how absolutely darling his little bum is. So, that is it. That's what I have for you tonight. I am going to turn the camera back around and wish you guys a wonderful rest of your week. And I will... Hang on one second. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. Okay, I'm back. Okay, whoop. You gotta be kind of coordinated to do this, and you know. All right. I think we're good. Okay, you guys, thank you. You know what? It wouldn't be a back to basics if I didn't have a flyaway somewhere. Thank you for coming and joining me today. Thank you for helping me make these little guys. I hope that you make them as well and have fun. If you modify this set at all in any of the ways that, you know, I suggested or ways that you come up with, please let us know. Tag us in your upload we want to see. And I will see you guys next week. Probably not me in person, but I will have a video for you next week. It's going to be one of the birds, okay, as you guys requested. So I'm going to have a bird for you next week, but I will miss you. I will be here in spirit with you. I have an exam that week, so I can't be here, but I'm hoping for the week after, okay? I love you guys so much, and leave me a comment if you want to win these. I will be giving both away, so there will be 2 winners. And have a great rest of your week. Have a great Easter weekend. It is it's Good Friday coming up, and then it's Easter. So super, super excited for that. Really excited for that. And I will see you guys next time. Mwah. Big hugs. Bye.